Center. We are a place where ideas thrive and prototypes are brought to life. Our team product development unit consists of engineers and product designers and different kind of experts which try to help bring your ideas, tangible products to life. Different kind of company, researcher, you name it. Everybody who has some idea, we can help with it. And we had a great opportunity to be a partners in a program called PROTOTECH. And it was really interesting to be there and with our other universities to develop these different kind of prototypes. It was a bit of a challenge because they were technology invested companies and individuals, so we had to do a lot. And in those 2 project calls, we made 30 prototypes. 30 prototypes, 30 solutions. Not only us, other universities also, scientific institutions. It was real interesting because every challenge had a different goal, different success stories, different fail stories. So let me show you a bit of some success stories that we had, that we can tell you about, and what's really interesting about them and how we did it. Bee monitoring device. Everybody knows that there's a problem going on about bees and how they're dying and how we could maintain them. There are some projects outside, but this project had an idea that we focus on not only the readings of IoT sensors, but specifically the audio recordings. Audio recordings of the bees, how they sound, because there's a difference how the bee sounds if she wants to mate or to produce the product or something different. We are not the experts in bee-related fields, but we are engineers, a team who can be your experts in product development. So we, with the client, did a lot of research, not only on bee-themed questions, how to do that, or technological, also on product design, ergonomics, how to develop the product, what's needed, how to use it, how people will feel it, because the product needs to be fitted inside of a beehive, and it needs to be easy of use, and so on. So we developed electronics system needed to do that, also inside of the university. We did also the algorithm that's needed to analyze the audio recordings so that we know what kind of a message the bee is giving. So this is like one of the solutions we made, and the company is still developing the database needed, and they have done a lot of already database gotten that they want to implement in this product. The main challenges that I would suggest for different kind of innovators and also program managers and everybody who tries to do innovations, don't sell the time needed for specifications. At the start of it, specify what's needed to be done, what's the field in which you're going to be really focused on. Because a lot of times, even for us makers, we want to do that, we want to do that, we want to do that. But we really need to focus on one thing. And for this product, it was audio recordings and AI algorithm, how to do that, how to record it, analyze it, and later on check with the data we already got. The good thing, the product is already been tested in real life. The product is already been tested. There's some conclusions, and the client wants to develop the idea further to advance this database, to advance the AI system of this product. The vision training device. Everybody of us looks at screens. Our sight is not so good as it used to be. So this is a solution the client came up. He had a technology idea how to use different kind of systems with lenses. So we developed this automated device that people can use at home, not only at clinics, that people could use at homes and improve their eyesight, because it's a real problem. Nowadays, when we have small screens, our eyesight's even worse. So we had to focus on ergonomics, how to use it, because it will be used by people at home on their faces. We had to develop mechanics for rotating lenses, synchronous movements, and different kind of systems to do that. We needed to prototype it, make it real, make it together with all the needed electronics. The main challenge is probably the engineers would say that it was implementing the electronics inside of this small system. But I would say the main challenge was also the cooperation, because it was really good cooperation with the client, because in these kind of projects, for example, for us as university, we had a small task of the project. It was only 50,000 euros for technologically invested companies. So we had to focus on one thing. We were focused on product development, the hardware, and the company was focused on software. So we had to merge them together, and it's real nice if you have real synergy between these companies and a contractor or university, when they can pull this thing together, get it, and have a real-time plan how to do that. What's next? Company has some idea as well to implement, even military uses for drone pilots, because they also need a good eyesight. So it's really going forward. Other successful stories that we can mention, but not really talk about because there's some difficulties with it. It's really technology invested, maybe patent pending or some other needs that client want. For example, Cellbox Lab, which is, I think, last year's Startup Awards nominee, they got an award in Impact as an impact startup, and they produce organ chips. It's really deep tech related company, and we had to build an automation system and software for them, for their chip system, how to make imaging and so on, focusing and different kind of uses, so they could do the research needed to further develop their product and further go to the next stage. Adventum Tech, it's a device that's in used in civil engineering when they are building some kind of house. They have these concrete structures, and you have to check the load of them when they are building it, how the load changes. So this is an IIT solution that checks the load, and nowadays there isn't kind of a system. And what's great about this product, at the start of it, the product idea owner already had a customer, and not only in Latvia, he had already a customer outside of Latvia, in Europe, and not only in Europe is that where he is now, because he's talking with different kind of clients even outside of Europe, and he's developing it further, and we have talked about maybe helping him with the next stage. Thank you, and if you have some idea, please call us.
Thank you very much, Kristen, for your presentation. And please, in the audience, do not hesitate to ask your questions. If you have some, just raise your hand. We will give you the microphone. And yeah, if you have some questions, please. And let's proceed with Innovation Academy Pre-Acceleration Program Director, Viesturs Sosārs.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. When I was asked to present or to say something about the Innovation Academy, or for short, INO, I decided to do that this time, not focus that much on those achievements we always brag about, but talk a little bit sort of a personal story on that. I'm within the startup ecosystem of Latvia and Baltics for about 20 plus years now. And since the last 10 years or so, working with mentoring and working with people with ideas and someone who wants to do something about it, come up with new products or services, I discovered that there is a huge, huge market gap. There is a thing lacking. And that thing, what is lacking, and what was lacking actually, is the very early stage program which helps people with their ideas get the teams around them, and get into what we call in the industry of the startups into investability. So it's basically the first step from your unvalidated idea getting into something that gives the sign that you should be throwing all in, having a team, cutting the code if you're working for larger companies or academia, and starting the thing up. And for those 10 years, I was unsuccessfully banging all the doors with the idea of doing that. And then, about 3.5 years ago, by maybe pure luck or coincidence or wonderful convincing and sales skills of back then director of Riga Business School, Mr. Jānis Grēviņš, who's unfortunately not with us today, it happened. And there was funding and a mandate for doing this, thanks to Innovation Norway. And that was sort of, from my personal perspective, that was one of the things I tried to accomplish as an ecosystem person in Latvia. That was one of the things, one of my dreams to come true. So you can imagine how I feel about all that. We did 3 cohorts of people and then subsequently teams within 2.5 years by blending the world's best practice of content with a very heavy one-on-one mentorship of the teams during their journeys. There's 24-week programs. Altogether, just some numbers, barely short of 500 people went indoctrinated in the startup world through that. We've got 110 graduating teams, more than 250 hours of content like lectures, workshops, etc. 5,000 hours of one-on-one mentorship. Just imagine it's like 200 days something was brewing non-stop. Over 90 experienced mentors from all walks of life, ex-startup founders, already startup founders having their businesses running, domain experts, corporate people, everybody, academic, like also scientists, as our mentors, for which we're also very, very grateful. So we have, and of course, everyone mentions, and thanks to everybody, I need to mention again the partners, the Innovation Norway, without whom it wouldn't be able to come through. Latvian Investment Development Agency, Department of Norway, collaboration, of course, the Technology Business Center, which we worked in the closest cooperation with. And so we delivered. It probably sounds like a bragging, so I know we will be delivering, but there were quite many, it wasn't easy, there were quite many people around who said, okay, another program, what's the point? It's not about what, it's about how. And I think the program was a success, and here is a news which I think would be particularly delightful for our Norwegian friends. Because Innovation Norway projects are always looking into sustainability of their actions. And what could be better news that somewhat indirectly, but this program is having to have a continuation. So Ministry of Economics is putting their money where their mouth is. And fingers crossed, but I think it's almost like for sure now that in autumn we'll be having a next pre-acceleration early stage idea development program. A little bit iterated, a little bit twisted, but at least in terms of the vision, in terms of the spirit, a successor of this one. So once again, I'm absolutely grateful to everyone who made it happen, who helped us to make it happen. Thank you.